Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be building a completely random house from our state. This will picks. Let's give it a spin and see what we get. If you don't see your state on the wheel, it's because I already did it in a playlist down below, so check that out. New Hampshire. All right, it's kind of a classic. All right, let's get into Google Earth and see what house we get. All right, so we got the US here, of course, New Hampshire in the Northeast. I really don't know where like the population is. I'm assuming it's kind of down here, but I'll just drop a street view, man. See what house we get. Okay, that's not a house. Sick. If this is the first video you're seeing in this series, by the way, I basically drop the street view, man, and I build the first house that I'm like looking at. I'm not gonna look around for a house or anything. I just drop the street view, man, and if there's a house there, I build it. If there's not, I back out and do it again. We got our lake. That's huge. Okay. It's like a Home Depot. Yeah, I feel like we're not building this. I don't know. It's like a kitchen store. It's kind of fire. It's a Walmart. I know a Walmart when I see one. I know a Walmart when I see one. Oh, it's a Lowe's. I don't know a Walmart when I see one. Disappointed in myself. Shout out nature. It's beautiful. Like, look at this, man. Cool building. Doesn't really count though. Man, what a crazy view. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Can I get like a less overexposed picture of it? It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I think that's the one. I kind of like the stairs going up to it. I think the garage is like not a separate part. I can't see it right here. I think it has 3D view, hopefully, so I should be able to look at it. Guessing it's like lights. It's a pretty interesting build. I'm not the biggest fan of that style of roof, but it's not like the end of the world or anything. There's 3D view, right? Okay, that's fire. Did they not have a sidewalk here first when they took this picture? Whatever. But yeah, we got 3D view, so we can see where the garage is and everything. A lot of windows, seemingly. Chimney on the right, but there's not a lot of like stuff in the way, which is why this is a good house. I have found a few houses already. I've been doing this for a minute, but usually there's like a big like a tree right in the front and I can't see. But this one's nice. We got a little tree on the left, but that's not a problem. But yeah, let's get right into Minecraft to kind of get the measurements down, and yeah, we'll get started on this. All right, so for the planning stage of this, usually I'll use a mix of the measuring tool and Google Earth, and then just scaling it up a bit to fit the details. But I think on this one, I'm gonna actually take kind of a different approach. I want as many of the details as I possibly could fit in here, basically. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scale it up more than I usually would. The last one I built was pretty scaled up too, but I just feel like it kind of fits more. Like I'm thinking something like this for each side. On the sides of the windows, we'd have like banners for these things. I don't know what they're called, the shutters. My bad. Yeah, something like that for the scale, I think. So how wide is that? It's like 9. That's kind of a lot. I might do something like that might work. And this side, but also same dimensions here. Obviously, these are all placeholder blocks. But something like that for like the scale here. So it's kind of gonna be a bit bigger than I would normally make, but I'm just kind of like sick of building something. I'm gonna scale this down a bit to show you what I mean here. So normally I'd probably do something like this. These are windows, by the way, if I didn't explain that. I do something like this, and I'd have the like banners here for the shutters. But the problem is now the window and the shutter are the same size. And there's no split in the middle here to signify this. There should be one for each of these. So if I scale it up, I can just get more detail, and I think it'll just look better overall. So as long as I texture all the walls and everything, I think it should look fine scaled up like this, but I guess we'll see. Oh yeah, that's kind of the scale we're going for. It's gonna be a pretty big house. There's like a front porch layer here, so everything is like a block up, and the door would be like here-ish. It'll be a 2x2 door, obviously, but the door will be here-ish. So everything is actually gonna be a block higher here, which is fine. Again, we're just getting the really rough shape to kind of finalize the scale here. But yeah, something like that. This middle part might be a bit too big. Let me check something real quick. Okay, there is a bit more shape to it than I initially thought. There's like this inner part, and then it comes out a bit here. So it'll probably look pretty decent if I could break up the shape of it. And then at like window height, this comes out another block. So that's not too bad. So yeah, I think this is what we're kind of looking at for the scale here on the front. Looking a bit weird right now, but again, placeholders, okay? I just want to really finalize this scale before I actually start doing anything. These will probably look better as walls with the scale, I think. Diorite. I'll use a debug stick to make them not connect here because it'll bother me, I think. But that looks pretty decent, I think. There's gonna be a 2-block gap, and there'll be another layer of windows. I think I like that scale. It's gonna look kind of grand. It's gonna be a pretty big house. I am later, by the way, gonna have to build a hill for this to be on because the left side is lower than the right side. So there's a garage that's like under this layer. So I'm gonna have to raise it up a bit and then build landscaping, which I'm not looking forward to. It's been a minute since I had to do that. But yeah, we'll get into that in a minute here. But yeah, let's keep building the front of this. I think the shape is coming out pretty decent. Like once we get all the right blocks in, of course, just trust the process. All right, let's see how like deep I should make this. I think I'm gonna try to use like the ratio of like depth and like width. So if you look at it from here, focusing just on the main rectangle part right now, we'll do the side part after because that should be pretty easy. All right, so it's about 10 by 13. So let me go into Minecraft and use my brain. So what is this? 24. Wow, we really almost doubled the scale. So it should be like 18 across maybe. All right, so if 18 is about right, just fill this all in world edit. It's kind of a big house. What do the windows look like on this side? All right, 2 garage doors, a door in the middle. Okay, it's fire. And yeah, window and then 2 windows up there. So it's not that bad. Just fill those walls in. That is the main like structure of the house pretty much. And there's a side section over here, which I guess we should kind of get in real quick. Let's try to get some measurements for this. Or maybe we could just get windows, like use windows to kind of get the scale. So it's got like a triple window. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Probably about 12 blocks across. Maybe a bit shorter. See, it's a bit bigger than this. See, I guess 12 isn't really that crazy, is it? I think make that slightly smaller. That's not bad. Yeah, this goes all the way back. All the way, I think. Does it go back all the way? Kind of hard to tell. Yeah, it seems like it. All right. You just gotta trust the process here, okay? Like, obviously it looks really bad, but you just gotta trust the process. But we are definitely getting there. Like, that's kind of the main, like, structure of the house done. And I don't think it looks bad. All right, where are the windows at here? There's a window there and a window there, and there's a center, like, chimney, which maybe like 3 by 2 at the scale I've done, maybe. Not entirely sure. But let's go around. I'm gonna go around and just add every window I could find. And then we'll get into the actual palette and the roofs and everything. And I think this will start actually coming together. All right, but the walls and most of the windows completely finalized here and where they're gonna be. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get the roof shape in. Probably just gonna use like stone brick stairs, like a placeholder. Then we'll kind of figure out how to actually texture that. It definitely is stone brick though. Maybe just some stone, cobblestone, and andesite mixed in there. Yeah, let's get the shape in for now. I hate this kind of roof. I really do. It's a good time to say, if you're watching, you know, you consider joining the Discord. A lot of cool people in there. We got like build channels. You can send your builds and get feedback and all that stuff. You know, pretty cool community forming over there. So yeah, you know, check it out. Link in the description. And I'm gonna just keep placing these stairs. I'm in pain. All right, let's take a look. That's really not bad, honestly. I thought the shape was gonna look way worse because, like, obviously you can't get the right stair angle in Minecraft, but that does look pretty good. I'll do this part real quick, which won't be as bad, but still won't be fun. All right, that took kind of forever, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty accurate too, honestly. This maybe comes up a block or 2 higher than I would have liked, but of course, there's no way to do that in Minecraft because, you know, you just kind of have stairs and you have slabs. So you gotta pick whichever one, and you just gotta use the best one. But that is the shape of the house basically done, and I'm actually really happy with it. What I'm gonna do now, I think I'm gonna put the block palette I'm gonna use in. I haven't decided what box I'm gonna use that yet, either pale or some mix of like white blocks, like diorite, wool, calcite. Just gotta get textured white look on it. I'm not entirely sure yet. And then after we get all that stuff in, I'm gonna raise it up. We're gonna build this garage area and then the hill that it's on. Which shouldn't be that bad really, but yeah, let's figure out the blocks we're gonna use here. I mean, it's definitely just white, but pale oak is like a pink tint to it. I mean, I'll try it. I don't think it'll really look good. I'm not entirely sure. If we do pale oak planks here, that's not bad, honestly. I thought that was gonna look worse. I think that might just be the move, because then we could use stairs and slabs to kind of get a bit more detailed of a shape. So yeah, if we get some other pale oak blocks out here, like yeah, we could like get slabs under here for the shape here. Honestly, maybe we just, it's pretty accurate. Yeah, then these stairs up here will actually fit. I'm not entirely sure about the banners, by the way, yet. It's just kind of the idea I had when I was like getting started here. But yeah, either way, I'm liking it. There is like this layer of like sandstone here. It's like a foundation layer on this side. So we're gonna make sure to get that in because that's kind of important. I'm just gonna assume it goes all the way over here. Something like that. We'll mix some texture in there. Ideally, I'd have like a trim here, but the problem is like I need these like shutters. They're way too important for the look of the house. So I can't really do that. I could raise the whole roof a block, but I think that would just look bad because these windows are right up to the roof. So I think it would look weird if there was a whole extra block of space there. So I think we're just kind of stuck with this look, which like, it's not bad. Ideally, I'd have a little bit of a trim on it. I could do like stairs here, but then it's just a lot of white. So I think we'll just kind of cut our losses there. At least for now, maybe we'll come back to it. But yeah, I think it's time to get this landscape in, which I'm really not looking forward to. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna raise the whole house by like probably like 7 blocks maybe. Let's move by 10 whole blocks right now, and we'll lower back down. So we gotta figure out this garage area. Let's kind of go back into Google and look at that. All right, just standard garage door and like door in the middle sort of layout here. Shouldn't be too bad. Can I get 30 view here? All right, it's basically just like another floor. Probably won't be too bad. I'm kind of struggling to get an actual view here, but should be pretty doable. I don't know. It's kind of hard to get a view, but I know there's 2 garage doors here. So there's 2 windows somewhere around here, which I could kind of use just for like the height scale. There's no perfect middle, but these are the middle blocks. So these walls have to be here. Okay, this will make sense in a second. There'll be a door here, and the garage doors will be here. So I guess that's kind of the depth we need. That's not too bad. Yeah, if I did this any taller, then these would look too tall. So that's kind of how I'm getting this scale. That's not bad. And then yeah, this kind of, there's like dirt here, but it kind of follows like that kind of curve sort of thing, maybe a bit steeper. So something like that. And there's like a wall also that goes like here. But I'll get the garage doors in. Usually, especially as of recent, I've been using shelves, like pale oak shelves. The problem with that is that the house itself is pale oak here, so it'll just be too much of the same white sort of color. So I'm gonna use iron blocks here, kind of like I used to do. And I'll put trapdoors over them. So trapdoors out, like this. Good enough. It's not perfect. The corners are kind of obviously not gonna have trapdoors on them, but it's fine. But, all right, now we can lower this again. All right, back on the ground. I'm liking it. So now we gotta build this whole hill, which is gonna be kind of annoying, but it's whatever. Get a driveway here, obviously. Maybe I should actually get that first. Just gray wool for now. All right, so how's this driveway go? It's obviously straight here and just kind of curves pretty sharply. This would be a 45. This is probably like we go 2 blocks and we go 1 block over, then go 2 blocks, we go 1 block over. Basically, it comes out pretty far, but it gets pretty skinny here. Driveway's pretty level. It's not quite level, but within like what I'm considering my margin of error here is level. So we'll get that driveway in, and then we'll get the kind of retaining wall, and we'll start filling in the dirt. And I think we're really getting there. It doesn't feel like we're getting there, but we are getting there. But yeah, kind of does that. That's honestly not that bad. Let's fill this in. I'm gonna use world edit. This placeholder block, of course. I'm probably gonna texture it similar to how I did the last Google Earth house, the one before that. I kind of like the way this texturing looks, so I'm probably gonna do something like this for this one. So I don't know, maybe a bit lighter though. It's kind of a bit lighter of a gray, but we'll see. All right, so this wall is a bit lower than the garage door, so I'll probably go down a block from like the curb part. It's pretty straight for a while, as you can see on Street View. And like in the last few, it kind of lowers a bit, so it shouldn't be that bad. Just kind of follows the driveway, which again is why I built the driveway first. I just kind of figured that'll be easier. So yeah, let's get this wall in. Something like that. It's not bad. Pretty much what it looks like, I guess. We're getting there. It feels like we're not, but we really like kind of are. All right, now I gotta get a hill in here, which should be too bad. Yeah, so it's completely flat by the end of the driveway, and then it curves up, and then it's pretty flat up there. All right, I'll get my best shot here. All right, so we'll build a sidewalk here. Just kind of like help me visualize this. And there's like this path that comes up. I don't know the exact, something like this. All right, so yeah, it's kind of the shape this hill has to take here. So that shouldn't be like too bad, really. I kind of almost want to use like moss and green wool and green concrete powder. Cause like, I don't want to see the side of the dirt block, you know? Cause if I see the side of the block, then it's just all gonna be dirt. We'll use green wool for now and we'll figure it out after. Okay, something like that. Make it go a bit farther, obviously. Maybe even 30. Yeah, this is pretty uniform here on this side. So that looks decent. And then we got this side here, which starts similar. But then it kind of curves down a bit. So I think we'll just start it a bit, you know, lower here. We'll stack this over a bit. All right, then yeah, let's see how this curves here. Something like that. It really does go down pretty fast. I'm happy with that. Let's extend this just back a bit. I'm not going to do like whatever landscaping is going on in the back. I'm just going to extend this across because kind of just what it seems like it's happening anyway. And yeah, I can't see what's going on here. It just looks like it slopes down across the back. So I guess we'll just kind of do that. We'll like just slowly lower it down the back. All right. I can't really see it, but I'm going to assume that there's a bit of this over here. Also just because I think it looks good. So put something around. All right. We're kind of like the base of it is done. Essentially, it's all about detailing now. So I gotta get the windows in. I gotta texture the yard, texture the driveway, texture the roof. So it's still a lot of stuff to do, for sure. But that's like most of like the hard part already done. All right, I'm just gonna texture the roof. I'll get it over with. All right, this won't be fun. I'm probably gonna cut most of it out because it's gonna be boring content, but it's gotta be done. So yeah, I'll just get on that, I guess. All right, roof is textured. I'm free. I'm free. I'm finally free. Oh my god. All right, anyway, Well, no. I guess I'll do the grass. My idea for the grass was a mix between probably concrete powder and moss, I think is what I want to do, because I can get these like stripes that are in it, because it's mowed in the picture. And it kind of makes it look like rich people grass. So if I replace this with like green wool moss block, right? And then I do this one, trust process. All right, finally done with that. It's kind of forever. I like that though. Come on, that looks like a rich person's like mowed lawn. Come on, that's tough. All right, anyway, I guess I'll do this next. I'll texture this wall first, actually, because we can just do that with some cobblestone, stone brick, cracked stone brick, you know, all that pretty standard stuff, really. I want to make it like 2 damage, but a bit of cracked stuff probably pretty good in there. Other slabs. All right, yeah, it's probably not bad. All right, let's just texture this real quick. This can't be that bad. I think I like that. It's not like the greatest texturing I've ever done in my life or anything. Looks maybe a bit messy, kind of it's a bit weird, but I like it, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna extend this grass over a bit real quick. We're getting there. We are getting there. We're getting there. Slowly. All right, let's do windows. I know this over here. Let's see what they look like on Google Earth. So there's those 2 on the bottom, and then they're above them, but they're not like, they don't really seem lined up on anything. I have to get these roof details in, and I also have to get this like porch thing on the back. Anyway, yeah, those windows, there's one like between them, and there's one just to the left of the door. So that's pretty easy. And then I guess while we're at it, we'll get these vents on the roof. So that should be pretty simple, I guess. I don't know. Just do that real quick. Looks pretty good. And yeah, these roof vents, which I think I'll do. I need a block. I don't know where they are. It's just evenly spaced up here. Something like that. Yeah, there's one on the bottom, which is kind of like for my expert guess here, I'm gonna guess it's one of those like ones that are like either a stick or like, okay. I don't know what roof vents do, okay? But I think this is one of these. Like the ones that are like just like a white like cap sort of thing is what that one looks like. Let's do this chimney now. Let's do one thing at a time around this roof. White pillar with rusted metal on top. And then we'll go around and put gutters everywhere also, and then we'll get the windows in. And then we're basically like almost done. Like it doesn't feel like it, but we're getting there. Something like that. Pretty free. All right, let's get some like gutters around. It's like a little, I don't know what it's called, like the electric company, like watt meter thing. So I'll get that with like a banner. Looks like a spigot here maybe. Like some outdoor outlet thing. Just a bunch of small details around. Ooh, there's a window here. I don't want to miss that. It's pretty interesting. Something like that. All right, we're getting there. All right, let's finally do the windows. Enough putting it off. All right, let's get these in. My glass texture is kind of cooked, by the way. I should ignore that. It's not bad, but when I get on an angle, it looks bad. So I think we gotta use fences here. I try not to debug stick too much, but no real avoiding it here. All right, that's not bad. I'm gonna do that for every window, which shouldn't take too long. I don't know, maybe it will. Again, just glass. Yeah, my glass is invisible because of my resource pack for connected textures for some reason. I have no idea why, but it's a thing. It's happening. All right, looks pretty good. There's like a bit of white trim above just these bottom windows. I think a sign kind of is more than enough to get that across. You can barely see it, but just a little bit of difference there. Also, there's a bit of this poking out over here, which I missed. Like it's just barely poking through, so something like that. There'll be like plants in the way of that. Anyway, though, making good progress. Should probably get these stairs in. Kind of looks like the porch is red. I can't tell, but you see that, right? Like that, like the tops of it looks red. Can't really tell. It is, okay. So the porch is red. I gotta get this door in too. I'm gonna use iron doors here. I know it's not technically the right door, but in real life, there's some see-through here, and pale oak doors just don't have that. So I'm gonna use that here. It'll look all right. It's fine. I'm also gonna disconnect these with debug stick. I don't usually, again, I usually try not to use the debug stick that much, but not much of an option here. All right, we're getting there. Not really a fan of these. That just looks better. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's definitely better, so we kind of gotta keep it. All right, anyway, yeah, this is red. But like the fronts of the stairs are white, so I kind of have to do white here, I think. And then there's like fence comes down here. Something like that. All right, let's get these stairs in. They're like a weird, a polished andesite kind of color. It's like a slate, which we don't really have in Minecraft, so I think we'll have to do something like this. I know the stairs aren't exactly straight in real life, by the way, but it's just like, I think it'll just look bad. So we'll kind of just keep it like this. All right, not bad. There's like these weird like lights here, which I'm guessing are night or motion sensor, you know. Put a few of these around, something like that. It's not bad. Some lanterns here. They got some pots, some random plants in them. All right, I think we're like almost done. Let's get this back porch in real quick. It can't be that hard. Can't get much of a view of it. I'm just gonna make it slightly shorter than this section of the house, so the staircase going out on that side, and that's gonna be about it for that. Probably mangrove. Looks red. Might be more of a jungle sort of acacia color, but from what I could see here, I'll just go mangrove, play it safe. Then we'll get these plants in the front, and I think I'm gonna call it. Just kind of guess what's going on back here. It's not that serious. Looks good. Just kind of random stuff going on back here. That's more than enough. All right, let's get this like mulch and then all these plants in, and we're probably about done, I think. I'm gonna stop saying that though. It's not bad. This house is dedicated to my patron, Jessica Rose. I really appreciate your support. If you want a house dedicated to you, it's only $3 a month on the Patreon. But with that, I think I'm ready to call it. I'm honestly really happy with this house looks. Not like perfect, I guess. There's some things I just couldn't really do amazingly in Minecraft, but overall, I think it's really solid. Let's get a quick side-by-side. Yeah, I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. Let me know down below if you enjoyed this video. Join the Patreon, join the Discord, all that. And yeah, I'll see you guys next one. Thanks for watching. And of course, as always, thank you to my patrons, Aelic, ThaMango, Luke 007, Tommi, Natural High, and of course, Sai. I appreciate your support. And yeah, see ya.